Most people think Bigfoot is just a rumor, blurry photos, campfire stories, but Edgar Miles knew better. He didn't believe Bigfoot existed. He lived with one for 40 years. And when the government discovered the truth, they didn't want to study the creature. They wanted to erase it. This is the story Edgar tried to take to his grave. In 1982, Edgar was a retired logger living alone in a remote Oregon cabin. One night, a brutal storm rolled in, lightning cracking through the sky, rain slamming against the roof. Then he heard it, a sound too heavy to be human, too close to be a bear, a deep, pained groan. Edgar stepped onto his porch with a lantern and froze. A massive creature lay collapsed beside his woodpile. Huge, bleeding, breathing, barely. Edgar dragged the creature inside. It weighed more than any human. Its ribs were clawed, shot, or both. For 3 days, Edgar treated the creature, fed it water, kept the fire hot. He didn't know if it understood him until it opened its eyes. They weren't the eyes of an animal. They were the eyes of someone aware. That day he named it Calder. Weeks passed. Calder healed. Slowly he began to trust Edgar. He communicated through gestures, guttural sounds, even a kind of sign language. He feared roads, engines, and men with guns. He had once been part of a group, a family. Now he was alone. And somehow Edgar became the only person Calder trusted. Their friendship was silent, strange, but real. For 40 years, Calder lived in the forest near Edgar. Never too far, never too close. They developed routines, cutting wood, foraging berries, watching sunsets in silence. But secrecy has a cost. Edgar knew that if anyone found out, Calder wouldn't be studied. He'd be taken. In 2021, Edgar noticed drones flying too close to his land. Black SUVs parked on old logging roads. Strangers in the trees watching. Somebody was tracking something. Somebody was listening. One morning, Calder approached Edgar, terrified, for the first time in 40 years. He tapped his chest, then pointed to Edgar. Danger for you. It happened just after sunrise. 3 unmarked vehicles rolled up the dirt road. Men in dark tactical gear stepped out. No badges, no names. They moved with military precision. They didn't ask questions. They issued commands. Where is the creature? You've been harboring it. You will cooperate. Edgar said nothing. He had kept Calder safe for 40 years. He wasn't about to betray him now. Calder watched from the tree line, silent, waiting. When the agents entered the cabin, Calder triggered diversions deep in the forest. Rock slides, broken branches, false trails, confusing the men. He protected Edgar with the instincts of a guardian, a brother, a friend. They escaped together, disappearing into the woods like shadows. At dawn, they reached the ridge overlooking the valley, their final hiding place. Calder turned to Edgar, placed one enormous hand on his shoulder. No words, just understanding. They couldn't stay together. If they did, both would die. Edgar nodded through tears. Calder stepped back into the fog and disappeared forever. The agents eventually found Edgar's cabin, destroyed it, burned it, declared it a wildfire accident. No animal tracks, no evidence, nothing. But locals still whisper that something enormous watches from the hills. Not a monster, not a myth, but a guardian. Maybe Calder is still out there, waiting, watching, remembering the one human who showed him kindness.